In a small town on the outskirts of Columbus, Ohio, there lived a boy named Ethan Walker. The town itself was nothing special. 2 gas stations, 1 high school, a silent library, and streets that felt like they had stopped dreaming a long time ago. People here didn't talk about success much. They talked about survival, paying bills, making it to Friday. Ethan was 16, tall for his age, with restless eyes that always seemed to be searching for something invisible. He wasn't the smartest kid in class. He wasn't the most talented either. In fact, most teachers barely noticed him. What Ethan did have was a question that wouldn't leave him alone. What does it really take to succeed? Talent or hard work? He heard arguments everywhere. Some people are just born smart. His classmates would say, "You either have it or you don't." His uncle often repeated. But then there were other voices. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Read a poster in the school gym.
Ethan didn't know which one was true. He only knew one thing. He wanted more than this town had to offer. A life with no shortcuts. Ethan's father, Mark Walker, worked at a warehouse loading trucks, 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week. His hands were always cracked and rough, his back permanently bent from years of labor. His mother, Linda, worked part-time at a grocery store, scanning items for people who barely looked at her. They were good people, honest people, but they were tired. One evening, while Ethan was doing homework at the kitchen table, his father dropped into a chair with a heavy sigh. "Dad," Ethan asked, "do you think I can be successful someday?" Mark looked at his son for a long moment. "That depends," he said slowly. "On what?" "Let me tell you something most people won't," he said. "Talent is loud in the beginning. Hard work is quiet. But hard work echoes longer." Ethan didn't fully understand it yet, but he felt it. The first decision that night, Ethan stood in front of the mirror in his room. He thought about Jason's grades. He thought about Ryan's athletic gifts. He thought about his father's tired hands. And for the first time, he made a decision. If talent was something you were born with, then effort was something you could choose. So he chose it. He woke up 1 hour earlier the next morning. He studied when others slept. He ran when others rested. He failed and tried again. No one noticed at first. And that was the hardest part. The lonely phase. Weeks passed, and months. How hard you're willing to work when nobody is clapping for you. That sentence stayed with Ethan. Nobody is clapping for you. School of comparisons at school. Ethan constantly compared himself to others. There was Jason Miller, top of the class, effortless grades, teachers praising him like he was destined for greatness. There was Ryan Colster, athlete, natural speed, natural strength, scouts already whispering his name. And then there was Ethan. Average grades, no trophies, no applause. One afternoon, after failing a math test, Ethan sat alone on the bleachers in the empty gym. Coach Reynolds walked in and noticed him. "Bad day?" the coach asked. Ethan nodded. "I'm just not smart enough, or talented enough. Some people just have it." Coach Reynolds sat beside him. Ethan's grades improved slightly, but not enough to impress anyone. His legs hurt from running every morning. His eyes burned from late-night studying. One night, exhausted, he almost quit. "What's the point?" he whispered to himself. "If I'm not talented, why try?" But then he remembered his father's words. How hard you're willing to work when nobody is clapping for you. So he kept going. Not because it was easy, not because it was exciting, but because quitting would guarantee failure. A small win at the end of the semester, something changed. Ethan didn't become number 1 in class. He didn't become a star athlete, but he passed every subject. For the first time, he wasn't falling behind. His teacher handed back his paper and said quietly, "You've improved. Keep going." It wasn't applause, but it was proof, and proof is powerful. The truth begins to reveal itself that night, Ethan wrote in a notebook. Talent may open the door, but hard work decides how far you walk inside. He didn't know it yet, but this mindset, this quiet refusal to give up, was shaping his future. This was only the beginning, because success doesn't announce itself early. It whispers, and only those who keep listening hear it. Ever felt like you're running on a treadmill, going as fast as you can, but getting nowhere? Meet Ethan. Every day he's the first one in the library and the last one to leave. He grinds, he studies, he puts in the hours. But then there's Jason, the basketball star who aces tests without even trying. And Ryan, the natural-born leader who charms every teacher. Ethan watches them from the sidelines, feeling invisible. His hard work feels like a secret only he knows. He'll spend all night perfecting a project only to see Jason's last-minute effort get all the praise. It's frustrating, right? You start to wonder, what's the point? If talent always wins, does my effort even matter? It's a lonely feeling, thinking your best just isn't good enough. Ethan looks at his reflection and doesn't see a dedicated student. Just sees the guy who's always trying, but never quite arriving. He's starting to question everything, especially himself. But here's the thing about treadmills. They build endurance. And sometimes, the race isn't about being the fastest, but about who can keep going. What do you think Ethan should do? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more. That doubt, silent, slow, and poisonous, began to creep into his mind. The first real failure midterms arrived. Ethan believed this time would be different. He had studied harder than ever. He had sacrificed weekends, friendships, sleep. When the results came back, his math score had improved, but barely. Not enough. His teacher said kindly, "You're trying, Ethan, but maybe this subject just isn't your strength. Not your strength." That sentence crushed him more than a bad grade ever could. Breaking point one cold evening, Ethan skipped his run. Then he skipped studying. Then he skipped school. He sat alone at a bus stop, hoodie pulled over his head, watching cars pass by. "I did everything right," he whispered. "Why isn't it working?" For the first time since he started trying, quitting didn't feel like weakness. It felt like relief. An unexpected voice that night, Ethan's father noticed something was wrong. "You didn't eat?" Mark said. Ethan finally broke. "I'm tired, Dad," he said. "Work harder than everyone, but I'm still losing. Maybe I'm just not meant for more." Mark stayed silent for a moment. Then he rolled up his sleeves. "You see these scars?" he asked. "None of them made me rich. None of them made me famous, but they fed you. They kept this family standing." He looked Ethan straight in the eyes. "Hard work doesn't always beat talent in the short run. But talent quits when it gets uncomfortable." That sentence hit Ethan differently. The hidden advantage: the next day, Ethan met Coach Reynolds again. "Coach," Ethan said, "what if hard work isn't enough?" Coach smiled slightly. "Hard work alone isn't enough," he said. "Consistency is. Most talented people stop when things stop being easy. You already know how to suffer." Suffer. Ethan realized something powerful. His struggle wasn't a disadvantage, it was training. Choosing the long road, Ethan returned to his routine, but with a new mindset. He stopped racing against Jason. He stopped comparing himself to Ryan. He focused on one thing only: being better than yesterday. Some days, progress was invisible. Other days, it felt non-existent. But he showed up anyway. Rain or shine, tired or motivated. A quiet transformation. Months later, something subtle changed. Ever feel like everyone else is just naturally smarter or more talented than you? Let me tell you about a guy named Ethan. During exams, he stopped panicking. He wasn't afraid of failing anymore. Why? Because he learned how to keep going, especially when things looked hopeless. And that skill, that grit, was way more powerful than just raw intelligence or talent. It was completely reshaping him. He still wasn't the top student, but he was no longer weak. One night, he wrote something powerful. Talent gives confidence. Hard work builds character. And character decides who lasts. He didn't know his future, but he finally understood that success isn't about who starts with an advantage. It's about who refuses to give up. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiration.